All right. Thanks for coming on short notice. I know it's early, but this is important. We've got a YouTube channel to revive, and that's why I assembled you, the best writers our budget can afford. Now, we need new show ideas, so go. We don't have the budget for that. According to the accounting report, our budget for the season is already in the red. Did you blow it all on hookers and nip again? Unbelievable. Well, your ideas better be good. Yeah, we'll do more board game stuff. People really liked that. Candid Canny? There's literally an entire channel just for that. Back every week with videos about the trans experience. What? Start a war? We'll come back to that. A video essay all in voiceover? I don't know. Okay, I'm sold. Percy, get me some graphics.
Slowly kisses passing by the river.
Hey there, I'm Carmelo. I'm a cinephile, and I've always been a cinephile. When I was growing up, movies were the things that got me through life. They were the art I consumed. I didn't become a reader until middle school, and didn't discover the wider world of music until about the same time. So before then, it was the movies I escaped into, and boy did I consume a lot of them. I say that like I somehow started consuming less movies after the age of 13, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that's not important. Moving on. The two movies that spoke to me most are Mad Max and The Terminator. Sure, the sequels to both films were cultural watersheds and cinematic masterpieces that changed the landscape of cinema, but there was something about those gritty, low-budget originals that really moved me, which is what art is all about. My insatiable appetite for cinema has led me in search of movies that remind me of those two, and it's those discoveries I want to explore here. I want to find out what about those films spoke to me and why they still do, and what, if anything, they have to say today. So, let's see what's on the reel today. That title screen looks familiar for some reason. Oh yeah. Warrior of the Lost World, also released in English as Mad Rider and Vigilante of the Lost Earth, and in Italian as Raiders of the Omega Year, though the DVD translates it as I Predatori dell'Omega, which is Predators of the Omega Year? Raiders of the Omega Year would be I Predoni dell'Omega. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Warrior of the Lost World is a 1983 film written and directed by David Worth, starring Robert Ginty, Persis Khambatta, Peter Fonda's stunt double, and Donald Pleasance. On the surface, the film doesn't seem to be saying much. A nameless wanderer shows up, fights some bad guys, the good guys win, happy ending, nameless wanderer goes. And I'll be honest, I had a hard time writing this episode because I wasn't sure how to really articulate what exactly it is that has the deeper meaning that resonates with me. But I think I finally got a handle on it. It's a plot recycled through centuries of literature, and that's a part of it. Through human history, we share stories of triumph of the human spirit over oppression and fear. We need to know that we as people have the power to be safe and free together. And that's the thrust of this movie. Putting aside our differences and being stronger together than apart. And if we help each other, oppression cannot win. The heroes of this film, the nameless rider, Nastasia, and McWayne, are struggling against an oppressive fascist regime called the Omega, personified by Donald Pleasance at Peak Pleasance as the Prosser. The rider lives on the fringes of society, no friend to the Omega. When he is injured in a battle, he is healed by a group known as the Mystics. No, not those Mystics. Following his recovery, Nastasia recruits him to aid in the rescue of her father/revolutionary faction leader, McWayne, The rider does Campbell proud and refuses the call because...
I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Once convinced, the duo infiltrate the Omega and rescue McWayne. During the escape, however, Nastasia is taken prisoner, but the rider and McWayne get away. With Nastasia in the hands of the Prosser, the rider has new drive to aid the outsiders in overthrowing the Omega. But they know they can't win alone. The Omega is too strong. So they embark on a plan to unite the fighting marginal factions and eventually succeed. Meanwhile, the Prosser is subjecting Nastasia to some real Room 101 style treatment to turn her against the outsiders. But it's too late. The marginals have been united and are coming for the Omega, the rider leading the charge. It's only when the marginals band together do they oppose Omega, proving the fragility of the fascist agenda. Did I mention the talking motorcycle? Because this movie also has a talking motorcycle. I'm not sure how that fits into my thesis, though. I don't know if this is working. It seems like it's going to be a tedious nightmare to edit. Okay, if you think it'll work, I'll keep at it. In today's age, with fascists taking over and destroying our democracy, stories of this kind are not only uplifting, but necessary. Fascism survives by keeping the marginalized people fighting among themselves. When we see their game, when we realize the only enemy is the one telling us to hate each other, their fragile control crumbles. Fascism prospers off the divide. And that's the message of this movie. Fascism wants to be the end state, the Omega. But ultimately, it's very fragile. Though it never goes out easy, and will use its inherent militarization in its violent death throes. But we will prevail. As Stephen King said of our current situation, this too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. We can even have balloons. It's in the final moments of the movie, however, that we're treated to the most important message. Victory has been achieved, everyone's celebrating, Nastasia even gets to have a little smooch with the paper chase guy. Right in the middle of that, however, it's revealed that the Prosser is not actually dead. The Omega still lingers. Fascism and those who crave hatred and control will always exist. Even in defeat, they remain silent under the surface of a positive society. It's only through vigilance that we ensure fascism will not grow strong again. We will survive, and we will overcome. But we must remain vigilant, or all these horrible events we are living through will return. Now, I know what you're thinking. Warrior of the Lost World's just a bit of trash cinema that was never meant to have a deeper meaning aside from, hey, you guys know Mad Max, right? Well, you're not wrong. Sure, it's extremely derivative. Robert Ginty mumbles his way through every scrap of ADR. The gunplay looks like 4th graders playing Army. Mega Weapon is really just a dump truck with spikes. The less said about the talking motorcycle, the better. And can we take a moment to talk about these gunshot effects? That's not what guns sound like. This is what guns sound like. You may notice a slight difference. The cinematography is on point, though. If you enjoy this movie for those reasons, that is perfectly valid. Hell, I enjoy it for that reason, too. Warrior of the Lost World even got the Mystery Science Theater treatment, which is where a lot of fans know this movie.
Join our hero as he enters the Lost World in the back of his mother's Vista Cruiser station wagon. Come on, Mom, let's go.
Speak up. I can't understand you.
I said, let's go. I gotta take my permit test so I can fight the Imperial forces.
You will do nothing of the kind, young man. You're going to get your permit thingy, and then we have to go get you a nice pair of slacks for school, and then you're going to wait for Mom while she picks out a new bra.
Oh, shoot, there's Dickie.
But here's the thing. Even if it was never meant to mean more than what it is on the surface, though Omega's similarity to Imsok are far too close to be coincidental, the movie still says more. The art doesn't get to tell the viewer what it means to them. And this is how a 40-year-old piece of apocalypse exploitation fare speaks to us through the decades, urging togetherness and unwavering unified resistance to fascism. Together, we can win. This isn't working. We need to cut to a skit to mix things up a touch. Besides, have you seen this script? Smash that subscribe button with the same vigor that you smashed the fash? Seriously, who wrote this? I mean, obviously I'll still suggest people like the video and, the subscribe thing, and obviously I'll still plug the Patreon that goes to this channel and the other channel link in the description, but we really need to mix things up a touch. So, for next time, tell me about this war idea. Okay. I like it. Okay. Alright. So don't worry, mister. You'll get your war.